All right, hello, welcome to the weather update today. Happy Earth Day. It is April 22nd, and it was a beautiful, clear day today. Maybe a little bit of cirrus off to the south, but other than that, beautiful day. You'll see how it was in the Pine Barrens. I'm exhausted, so I'm going to make this a short video. All right, you can see fairly clear skies. We'll go to the MODIS satellite here, and we'll show you what that looks like as well, so you can see fairly clear skies. There was just some cirrus like skirting the south a little bit, maybe skirting the Jersey Shore, but other than that, maybe a few cumulus, very few, mostly clear skies. We got frost and freeze warnings in effect, frost advisories for eastern Long Island, Connecticut, and freeze warnings for much of the state of New Jersey, believe it or not. So we'll go to our climate statistics first. We'll start off here. And for highs, for our statistics today, a high of 58 and a low of 35. The high was 3 degrees below normal. The low of 35 was 8 degrees below normal, putting us 5 degrees below normal for the day. Central Park got up a lot warmer to the west. Central Park got up to 64, so they were only 1 degree below normal on the high. A low of 42 was 6 degrees below normal, and the average 53 was 3 degrees below normal today. So let's take a look and see what we got going on outside right now as far as temperatures go. And you'll see it's already down to 36 at West Hampton. And it was quite chilly at West Hampton this morning. And that's why there's the freeze warnings in effect, because there's a good chance with this dry air we're going to be going below freezing tonight in a lot of areas. So just look at what the day was like in West Hampton, just to show you how cold it got this morning, because as you'll see, it got down into the 20s in West Hampton. So it got below freezing, well below freezing, because in the Pine Barrens it got colder. There was some really good radiational cooling. Northwest winds for much of the day until after 4 o'clock. That's when we started seeing some sea breezes develop. You could see wind shifted off to the southeast there, and that resulted in not too much of a temperature drop out there. Looking at the day at islip, you'll see that islip also had a sea breeze. When did that start? A little bit later. That was more like 5 o'clock there. And what's interesting here, we'll look at Ocean County, because there was a 37 down at Miller Air Park. Let's see if they got that radiational cooling or not. And then we'll put the highs and the lows on the screen and all that other stuff. Temperatures, let's see. They did get a sea breeze, yeah. So looks like they had a sea breeze start around 4 o'clock as well, and it went from 61, dropped into the mid-50s with the sea breeze over there. It's quite a lot warmer there than here. And then I wanted to just look at Lakehurst, McGuire, because McGuire had a really strong temperature drop with the sea breeze. I want to show you what they had, because it went from 60 degrees at 7 o'clock down to 51. It was a pretty significant drop there. It even made it in that far. So let's go to our highs and lows. We're going to first start with the lows this morning, because, again, it got pretty chilly. West Hampton got down to 24, and mid-30s generally in much of other areas of Long Island, except on the Forks where the wind stayed up. Suffolk County also dropped in the mid-30s. Even parts of Nassau County also had mid-30s as well. The city held on to the 40s. And then let's see what Jersey did here. So Jersey, come on, show us the lows. It's not all of them. 26 it got down to. So, yeah, a lot of the Pine Barrens areas definitely got colder, as well as the other, less developed areas. Let's look at our highs today. And highs generally mid-50s across Long Island. Yeah, mid to upper 50s across Long Island. But as you headed west toward the city, you had low 60s. Let's see how central Nassau did here. Yeah, we got into the low 60s too. 63 in the city there, so low 60s also into Jersey as well. You see the low 60s there, so that's what it looks like right now. And again, that dry air in place. Again, we had dew points that were pretty low today. So looking at Farmingdale, see dew points up to 35 because of the sea breeze, but dew points that might keep the radiational cooling at bay. But I have my doubts. But you can see dew points during much of the day were in the 20s. So that's pretty low, pretty dry air. So let's look at the HRRR and look at our dew points and wind flows through tomorrow. I'm only going to cover the weather through tomorrow. So you'll see here tomorrow we'll have a southerly flow, and we're still going to have dry air, but that southerly flow will keep Long Island cooler while inland areas, especially Jersey, get pretty toasty for tomorrow. Going into looking at our air temperatures tonight, again, I think the Pine Barrens is a good shot of going below freezing. And most other areas will probably have lows in the mid-30s, so it'll be chilly overnight into the morning. And then tomorrow, it's going to warm up more inland, so mid to upper 60s in Jersey. But for us here on the island, probably mid-50s, mid to upper 50s is going to do it. Maybe 60 on the North Shore, and that's going to be it for tomorrow. Now, the other challenge tomorrow will be cloud cover, so we'll go ahead and look at the HRRR because there's cirrus that's, as you saw on the satellite, that's trying to advance in from the west. And you can see here that we do see some elevated upper-level moisture, but not quite enough to... I still think there's going to be a decent amount of sun and maybe just a few wispy cirrus clouds more toward the afternoon, but I still think it's going to be wall-to-wall sunshine tomorrow, probably. Let's go to the RGEM next. So here's the RGEM, and you can see we have the storm offshore, and that's what's going to hold back the cirrus. And so you see the RGEM keeps us fairly clear. Look at that storm offshore. We're going to talk a little bit about that too as well. So let's look at some of the now different models have different opinions. So the NAM, all right, only have the 0Z NAM. All right, we'll go look at the 18Z NAM. The NAM has some cloudiness around. It has, oddly enough, some clouds off the south shore. I don't know why it's doing that. And then the FV3, again, we only have 10 hours of that in. Has some cirrus come in around the middle of the day. That may be overdone, so I still think we're going to have plenty of sunshine. So let's talk about this storm offshore for a moment. We'll go to the eastern U.S. and just show you this storm here. We'll go ahead and look at the NAM. We'll go ahead and look at the NAM. You could see, actually, the models don't even go far enough out to really see what this storm is doing. We'll go to the 18Z runs for this. You really can't visualize it. It's so far out there. But this thing could have some tropical characteristics to it. I'm just going to go to the NHC and see if they're issuing anything or not. I don't see anything here, of course. But if we pull out here, this would be the area where we could say it is a frontal boundary, so I guess it would be extratropical. But this storm could still be very impressive. So I'm going to go to the Ventus sky, and we're just going to look at the winds here. Around this storm for tomorrow. We'll move this to tomorrow here. And you'll see that this storm really picks up in intensity here. I know it's got a weird look to it, but look at these wind gusts around the center. This almost has like a tropical look to it. And it's going to get stronger into tomorrow night. And you can see some pretty strong winds around it here. These are the wind gusts. We look at the actual wind speed. You can see you got a center of circulation out here. And again, they don't want to admit that it's tropical, but let's go look at the dew points and see if we have dew points. Not that. Dew points, I said. Computer is not behaving. You can see the whole low is pretty much in warm, humid air. So it's not really, it doesn't look extra tropical too much. So I think this thing is going to have some tropical characteristics to it, and I think we're going to wind up talking about this tomorrow a little more. But definitely, it could kick up. We'll go look at the European model as well. We'll go to the windy.com, and I'm going to wrap it up because I am very tired. All right. Go to wind gusts. So, yeah, I got to change this. That's right. We're going to wind gusts. So we can take a look at this storm offshore. So you can see here. Well, let's see. Look at that. It's got some pretty strong wind gusts already being reported in it. We're going to have to look at some buoys. But this thing gets even stronger tomorrow. I mean, look at it here. Again, some pretty strong winds there. Gusts to 88 miles an hour, perhaps. That's impressive. That's very impressive. And then it finally fades away as we get into Wednesday a little bit. But that's a powerful storm. That's a powerful storm right there. And these are the wind gusts, but still very powerful. Very powerful indeed. Let's go back to the menu here and look at our waves and see. So let's go ahead and that. let's see if this is going to stir up any waves in our area. I don't think we're going to see any effects from it. It's too far away, but again, out in the ocean, this is going to cause some problems for sure. And like I said, it could have some tropical characteristics to it. Very interesting type of storm that's developing for sure. Go right to the regular wind. We'll just go to the regular wind now. And you can see it's just really impressive to see this thing. It almost looks like it had an eye there for a moment. So it might have an eye. Yeah, right here, 1 a.m. tomorrow. Oh. See what this looks like. There you go. It's actually showing an eye. That's incredible. That is really incredible. That is quite incredible. Don't think we have any buoys out that far to look at it right now. But I'll talk more about it tomorrow night because, again, I'm very tired. Done a lot of hiking and I'm exhausted. Let's see if we have an observation. Oh, here we go. This one's got a wind gust up to, this buoy's got a wind gust up to 38 miles an hour right now. So keep an eye on what goes on out here, right? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's nice weather. The nice weather continues tomorrow. Have a good night.